From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benishore, in for David Brancaccio. So just to get us up to speed on where oil prices are this morning, Brent crude is at $92 a barrel. It was at $117 a barrel early yesterday morning. Couple explanations for that. One, President Trump said the war could end, quote, very soon, and repeated the idea that the U.S. Navy could escort tankers through the Persian Gulf. On the other hand, he also said the war could escalate if Iran blocked the flow of oil. Also, though, Saudi Arabia's Aramco said it would ramp up a pipeline that carries oil on a route that bypasses the Strait of Hormuz. But all that aside, $92 a barrel is still 30% more expensive than it was before the war started. That means anyone selling oil right now is making a ton of money, including U.S. producers. One question: will they use that extra cash to drill for more oil? Marketplace's Elizabeth Trovall has that.
When oil prices move higher, it's often a signal to drill, baby, drill. But this case is different, says Dan Pickering with Pickering Energy Partners.
This is most likely a transitory event with the war in Iran, and prices are likely to come back down.
He says U.S. producers don't want to spend money to up their oil production based on conflict-dependent prices.
It's not like turning the tap. There are no easy inventory of wells to turn on, and so we have to drill them, and that's going to take a number of months.
But Abhi Rajendran with Energy Intelligence says even after the conflict ends, prices are likely to linger higher than what they would have been without any war. And so that could mean U.S. production doesn't decline like he expected it to in 2026.
What you may see now is that maybe a little bit more growth in the Permian and maybe, less declines elsewhere. And so the net effect is actually you see something that's like more flattish.
Ori says later this year, there's a chance we could actually see overall U.S. production grow. I'm Elizabeth Trovall for Marketplace.
All right, let's do the numbers. Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are all up this morning about 0.1%, with Dow futures 64 points. The yield on the 10-year Treasury is 4.13%. And the average price of gas is up to $3.54 per gallon this morning. That's up 44 cents from a week ago, according to AAA. It's the highest weekly jump since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Anthropic is suing the Pentagon. It's the latest step in the company's dispute with the federal government over the use of its AI tools. Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer has the latest.
Anthropic has filed 2 lawsuits against the Defense Department and other federal agencies. Anthropic is fighting the Pentagon's decision to effectively blacklist it by labeling it a supply chain risk. Anthropic says under U.S. law that label only applies to foreign firms. The company says the Defense Department is also violating its free speech rights. Anthropic has said it doesn't want its AI tools like Claude to be used in fully autonomous weapons or mass domestic surveillance. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says Anthropic wants, quote, veto power over operational decisions. In a social media post, President Trump said he's ordering federal agencies not to do business with Anthropic. I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer for Marketplace.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Schwab. At Schwab, investors get choices ranging from self-directed investing to full-service wealth management all in one place. Learn more at schwab.com. And by GEP. With GEP Key Agentic AI and GEP Smart Software, GEP is at the forefront in agentic procurement orchestration and autonomous supply chains. And by Amazon Business, committed to business buying solutions to empower leaders to streamline and focus on growth. Learn more about smart business buying at amazonbusiness.com.
Hundreds of consumer products were recalled last year, everything from children's toys to exercise equipment, and it was a big jump from recent years. Marketplace's Carla Javier took a look at what's going on.
Jason Hertzberg at Exponent helps companies evaluate their products for potential safety issues.
Nowadays, there's so many other channels that need to be monitored, like, online forums and endless reviews.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission investigates reports it receives and even does some secret shopping and product testing of its own. The CPSC is also the agency that announces recalls. Teresa Murray at the U.S. Public Interest Research Group analyzed those announcements and saw that last year they shot up to 420 products.
It's the highest number of product recalls in 18 years since 2007.
Most are initiated by the companies who make the products themselves, though if the CPSC can't get a company to agree to a recall, Murray says
they will issue what's called a unilateral warning. It's a product warning, but it's not as good as a recall because consumers don't have to get notified.
Still, Murray says those warnings were way up last year too, covering 120 products. Chris Harvey at Sedgwick works with companies preparing for and executing recalls. He says over the past few years, new rules have gone into effect, including ones aimed at reducing furniture tip-over risks, making sleep safer for babies, and preventing ingestion of button batteries.
Now I think we're starting to see violations that are generated from some of these recent laws as well.
Harvey says the CPSC is also more actively looking at items coming in through ports. The agency said in a statement that it's been stepping up, quote, e-commerce enforcement too. With a couple dozen recalls already on the books in January, Chris Harvey at Sedgwick predicts large numbers in 2026 as well.
But just because the number of recalls is increasing doesn't necessarily mean that we're seeing a less safe marketplace with products. In some ways, there's a silver lining. It's not a bad thing.
Because he says more recalls mean fewer dangerous products falling through the cracks and making it into the hands of consumers. I'm Carla Javier for Marketplace.
Our producers are Emma Condon, Tamar Fagan, Ashley Rodriguez, Ariana Rosas, and Erica Soderstrom. Our senior producer is Alex Schroeder. Our supervising senior producer is Meredith Gerritsen-Morby. And in New York, I'm Sabri Benishore with the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.
WNYC